25th, 2017 is Paint the World Green for Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. As I was thinking about what to talk about for this day, I thought about how different CP is from other disabilities and diseases. When somebody says they have a child with cerebral palsy, you have a slight understanding of what the child can do. Cerebral palsy is caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. The length of lack of oxygen to the brain affects the severity of the cerebral palsy. If the lack of oxygen is a few seconds, the cerebral palsy might be less than a full minute. A person with cerebral palsy on the less severity spectrum, they can do everything by themselves. If a person had a lack of oxygen for a few minutes, the severity of the cerebral palsy will be much greater. They might have a lot of health issues. One thing that is so strange with cerebral palsy is that a person might look better than somebody else. Take Lisa and me for example. You might think that Lisa can do a lot more than me. Some ways it is true and some ways not. She can feed herself and talk, but cannot read a book or use a computer. I could do a lot more on my own than she can. I am not saying that look at me, I am better. I am saying that it's so odd how cerebral palsy affects a person. Sometimes I don't remember that Lisa is affected different than me. So I look at her with an evil eye thinking that she is playing with me. It is so hard to figure out that it is the cerebral palsy is causing her to act different, or is it just her? It sometimes is easy to tell if somebody has cerebral palsy or not. The most easy way is to look at how they are holding their hands. A lot of people who have CP hold their hands down like this. I can't hold my hands up anymore. I don't know why. Another way to determine whether or not a person has cerebral palsy is to look at their balance. It is a lot different from a person who is drunk. They seem to be unsure of themselves. One more way is by looking at how they are holding their mouth. I am a good example. My mouth is always moving. I don't want my mouth to do that, but involuntarily. It is because the signal from my brain to my mouth is active. It is also the reason why I drool so much. I hate it, but I can't help it. Tomorrow is a day to wear green to show that you support cerebral palsy. If you wear an ugly shade of green, people will ask, why are you wearing that shirt? You can say that you are supporting cerebral palsy. This day is not to wear green, but to bring attention to yourself so that you can talk about cerebral palsy. So what are you doing tomorrow to bring awareness to cerebral palsy? If you're doing something tomorrow, tell us about it in the comments below this video, please. I will see you on Monday. It is Chris signing off.